Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Nisha Sajnani, and today we have with us Mr. Vasu Gupta, who has bagged a job at a super dream company at Lashin. He has also completed a summer internship from Samsung Research Institute. Currently, he's a fourth year student from DTU. Hi Vasu, how are you?
Hi Nisha, I am fine. I am completely
Uh,
fine. Hope you are as well.
yeah, thank you, and congratulations for getting a super dream job.
Thank you so much for that.
So, in this video, we will cover how Vashu started his programming journey, what are the challenges he faced, and how did he achieve to get this super dream job. So, first of all, Vashu, how was your college life? Can you share some insights about your college life with us?
Yes, sure, Nisha. I can share some insights. Guys, I started with that coding part, the DSL Go part, after the end of my first year and before the beginning of my second year. So generally, internship session starts somewhere around the beginning of third year. So here you have 2 years of time period to prepare for that. So I started a bit late. As I said, I started after my first year. I need to increase my speed to do the task, to reach to the level which my friends have already reached, who have started coding in the first year itself. So I started with that, and I need to do that machine learning part as well within that my second year time period. So you can say I have 14 months or 15 months of time period with me, within which I build my both things, the coding profile as well and the machine learning profile as well. So I will suggest you to start this process a little early within your first year. So to select a language of your choice. It may be C++ or it may be Java. It's up to you. I myself started with the Java. Java is I find it's quite easy. So you can choose that as well. So yeah, but it's completely up to you. You want to choose C++ over Java or Java over C++. So select one of the language and now devote give challenges or complete questions in this language only, so that before that internship interviews, you have ample amount of knowledge to that language, for that language you can say. So
Right.
yeah, restrict yourself to one language and start early within the mid of the first year. Start with DSL Go, the basic DSL Go part. So after completing that basic DSL Go, start with various platforms like InterviewBit, Lead Code, Codeforces, CodeChef. Yeah.
So, you mentioned multiple platforms. What should one focus or start with basically? Most of the students get confused here whether we should start with HackerRank, LeetCode, CodeForces, CodeChef. So, what is the best platform according to you?
Yeah, so I have received this question from many of my juniors as well. So according to me, first take up a course in basic DSL Go.
Mhm.
I took it from Coding Blocks. You can take it from any other organization or from Coding Blocks itself or from any other online sources as well. So take up that course. After completing that basic course, start with Lead Code. So don't get overwhelmed with number of platforms available. I would suggest start with the basic lead code, start solving problems on that platform. Devote around 15 days of time period to that only. And after 15 days of time period, start with the code forces. So code forces itself hosts various coding contests at around 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. in the evening. So give as much of as of this that contest you can give. So yeah, try to give maximum of them. Then restrict yourself to these platforms for around like 1 to 1.5 month, and after that start with the long challenges on that code chef as well. You need not to do the interview bit, since lead code and interview bit contains most of the questions, so which are like similar. So lead code
Okay.
would be sufficient on that part,
Mhm.
and for the competitive part, code forces and code chef would be sufficient. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing the insights. And one more thing, generally, most of the students ask, like, if we are in second year or first year, or our third year is starting, so what should I focus on currently? So, can you share the insights separately? Like, if I am in first year, what should I start with? How should I proceed? If I'm in second year, how should I proceed?
Yeah, sure.
Hmm.
So, in your first year, start with the basic DSLGO part. Restrict yourself to the basic coding only, the lead code problems and the code forces. So, yeah, if you have 6 months, like you have started 6 months prior to the end of your first year, devote 6 months to that only.
Correct.
As soon as your second year starts, to take up a development field of your choice. It can be web development, it can be Android development, or it can be machine learning. Choose one
Mm-hmm.
of this field and devote the initial time period, like the first 3 or first 6 months to that field. You can exclusively devote your time for that. But simultaneously, don't like leave the DSLGO or competitive part. Run both these fields parallelly.
Mm-hmm.
And the final 6 months of your like second year, you should practice more and more that competitive coding part only. The development part you have already done. You have ample amount of
Mm-hmm.
knowledge to clear the interview round, since you have already devoted 3 or 6 months to that. So yeah,
Correct.
the last 6 months devote yourself to that competitive coding part.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as your like during your third year, when you are preparing for your placement session, so by the time I myself preferred to work on that competitive field only, since the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge required in that development field was already with me. So I thought of devoting my complete time to that only.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Okay.
coding round.
And just one small question. So whenever you are stuck in any problem, for example, it's a complex problem. So how do you proceed? Do you just check the answer, or you think on the approach? So what is your thing?
Yeah, so there are two way around. So
Mm-hmm.
one is like you got stuck into a problem. That's
Mm-hmm.
completely fine.
Yeah.
Everyone got stuck into a problem at some moment, right? So the first approach says like you just directly see to the solution which you have, a solution of somebody else who has already did that question. So this
Mm-hmm.
is the first approach, like just directly see to that answer. The second approach is like a little bit of time consuming, you can say. So first of all, if you are stuck in that problem, just devote 2 or 3 hours more into that problem only, so that you are completely sure that yeah, it's out of your reach. So after devoting that 2 to 3 hours into that, so then you can like ask your friend if he has already done that problem. You can ask
Mm-hmm.
him for approach. You can ask him to give some hint to that question if he has already done that. So that's the first thing I prefer myself. Like I also used to ask my friends like, were you able to do this? How you did this? So could you please give me a small hint? So yeah, this should be preferred. But in case you have no such friend who has done that question, so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
now there's no choice left. You need to look up to the answer of somebody else who has already done that on online platforms like Codeforces provides you with the solutions which other have submitted. So yeah,
Yeah.
take help from that, and yeah, try to get it. If you are stuck at it at like if you have any mentor with you, you can ask
Mm-hmm.
him to guide you regarding the answer, or you can take a help from your friend. Like I am unable to understand this, so could you
Mm-hmm.
like help me understanding this?
So
So yeah.
it's preferable to have a small group of friends, with whom you can code along, basically. And
Right.
yeah.
So I
So.
myself had a group of 2 to 3 students. We
Mhm.
used to collaborate with that discussion part for the answers. So yeah, we used to ask questions like, how many questions did you solve in the round? Were you able to solve all? Like, how were you able to solve that?
Yeah.
Could you just give me a small hint? And in case I take that hints or suggestions from my friend, in case
Mhm.
I am still unable to solve that problem, I just
Mhm.
directly ask him again like
Yeah.
I am still unable to solve it, so could you please help me more? And if in case like I tried all the things and I am still unable to solve, then I ask for the solution file, you can say, .cpp or .py, whichever code you want to ask, you can. I just directly take it from my friend and just I myself go through that project, that code line by line. So yeah, this
And
should be preferred.
a group of friends also keeps you motivated for the longer time. It keeps you disciplined for, solving the problems regularly.
Yeah, introduces the idea of that, like you are running in a challenge and you need to win this race if you want to
It's a healthy
see yourself.
competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of a healthy competition, right? So you always want you to succeed in a race. So yeah, it helps.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
helped
yeah.
me, may or may not help you.
Mm. So let's start with the Atlassian interview process. Like, what was the process? What were the coding rounds? And what did they expect from you? Yeah.
Okay. So the first of all, when the company arrived in our college, so a form was released which everyone has to fill. So around 300 students filled that form, provided their
Okay.
CV. They all went to the company, and after that, only 200 of students out of those 300 students received the link to give that coding round. The coding round itself comprises of 3 questions. It was of around 90 minutes length, 90 minutes, and 3 coding questions. So that 200 students gave those round. They asked for resume as well, and after that, for the interview round, they shortlisted around 15 to 20 number of students. Exact number I don't remember, but yeah, it was somewhere between 15 to 20. So
Okay.
yeah, these 15 to 20 students were able to sit into that interview part. For the interview process itself, we had 3 rounds, 2 technical and 1 management round. So it's somewhere related to managerial round. So yeah, the all 3 rounds were of 1 hour length, and in all 3 rounds, there was a certain amount of time, an ample amount of time that was given to the project discussion part, right?
Okay.
So in 1 hour length, we have around like 20 minutes of discussion with that project part only.
So project
They
means the project that you have mentioned in your resume. Am I correct?
Right.
Yeah.
So they ask you, in your resume, you should have mentioned 2 or 3 different projects. They ask you with which project you want to proceed.
Okay.
Then you let them know your choice, and after that, they have 20 minutes of discussion with that project part. So yeah, the 20 minutes was devoted to this part, and after that, for 40 minutes in my technical round, I have DSL Go questions. They provide with me 2 of DSL Go questions. They were quite basic. Just they want to know how to proceed with the problem. Like first of all, you should give a brute force solution, then optimize it a little bit, then again optimize it a little bit. So yeah, in my first technical round, I was given with 2 of these questions, and 20 minutes each were devoted to both. In my second technical round, I was given 1 DSLGO question. It was related to binary tree, root to leaf node sum. And another 20 minutes was given to the subject knowledge related to OS, DBMS, computer networks. Yeah. So the 20 minutes discussion was related to that. In my management round or managerial round, so the 20 minutes was discussion was around of this project only. It revolved around this, and the remaining 40 minutes discussion was for the interviewer put you into a situation where he asks for what judgment you will make or you could have make in this situation if you lie in this situation. So yeah, so it was most of a general discussion between 2 individuals, but yeah, so 40 minutes discussion was related to that only. My previous internships, my previous teamwork, and my previous hackathons, which I have taken part in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned about internship, and we also know that you have completed Samsung internship at Samsung Research Institute. So how was it? What did you learn there? How was the process of getting into internship?
My Samsung internship was like I grabbed it in first week of my internship session.
Mm-hmm.
The best part of the internship is that uh, the team work which you get to work in.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to know how to work in a team, how to proceed, how to contact with others. Since when you are working in a team, it's not a like a one-way run, like
Correct.
an individual's run. So you need to run along with the team. So that's the best part. So this, like my, as I said, na, the last round, the managerial round, it includes discussion with this like the internship part as well. So the interviewer was asking me a various set of questions. The very basic one, like how was your team? How did you approach the problem? What was the time schedule you preferred? So yeah, he asked me. So one thing I came to know is that if you have team projects or like an internship where you worked in a team, so it's the best for your like managerial round. So
Correct.
they get a knowledge that you are able to work with the team, and you are the one that can work with other individuals. It's not like you just only run for yourself. So they can know that part as well. So yeah, this internship helped me to provide that knowledge as well, the team spirit which I have, and then it helped me to clear that interview round as well.
Yeah. So, according to you, what are the strategies or preparation tips one should follow while preparing for interviews?
So yeah, the tips I would like to give you all is that the first of all focus on competitive programming and DSLGO. Don't restrict it to DSLGO only. Practice some competitive coding as well. Second, if you can choose a development field and can work on that field for an ample amount of time, or let's say you can build 2-3 projects in that field,
Mm-hmm.
that would be great enough. So try building those 2-3 different projects in that field. Third thing, focus on the subjects like OS, DVMS, CN, computer networks. Interviewer do ask question from these fields. So you might think that if these subjects you learn in college and they might not be that much of that much importance that you should give, but yeah, interviewer do ask them, and if you are unable to answer these questions, then yeah, it will surely affect your selection process. So yeah.
Mm. So, let's talk about resume building. You mentioned that you have mentioned few projects. So, what is the ideal number of projects one should mention in its resume?
Yeah. So some juniors have also asked me a question regarding this. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I mention 5 to 6 different number of projects in my resume, it makes my profile a little better, or it just worsen it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I suggest myself is that you should include around 2 to 3 different projects. Okay, describe them briefly. In brief, you can say with 3 to 4 lines into your
Mm-hmm.
resume, but
Mm-hmm.
don't go into that part like I should mention 4 or like 6 different projects. Restrict it to three. You can mention two as well, but two will be quite less. So yeah, three is a perfect number you should prefer. So mention these 3 different projects. You could have make a 15 or like let's say 10 of different of projects, but you should mention best three out of those 10 or 15 different projects,
Mm-hmm.
and restrict your resume to one page. So the number of like some individuals mentioned around like 5 to 6 different projects and 3 to 4 internships which they have done. So that increases the length of your resume to like 1.5 or 2 pages. So try
Mm-hmm.
to restrict it to one page only. So it helps like if any interviewer is like reading it. So try to provide the best information which you have for yourself, not all the information which you have for yourself. Yeah.
Correct.
So getting my point, I said like
Mm-hmm.
mention only those things which the which are the best of you, right? So yeah. These are the final suggestions for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
interview.
And one more thing that is important in resume, which students mention, is CGPA. So, according to you, what is the role of CGPA? Is it important to have a good CGPA, or it's fine to have a decent CGPA?
So yeah, to be honest, some of companies do mention that they do not take that CGPA into consideration, but
Mm-hmm.
it's completely like a black box. You can't know, you didn't know like what's inside. So
Yeah.
since they need to filter that resumes, so I myself guess that CGPA plays a role. It might not be the case with some of companies, but yeah, majorly most of companies do prefer including that factor, CGPA factor, into that shortlisting part. So you should prefer having a decent CGPA. It depends on the marking scheme of your college. For my college, somewhere in between of 8.5 to 9.5 would work. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it completely depends on marking scheme of your college, and prefer having a decent CGPA from the very first semester you have, right?
Yeah, yeah. And what else do you suggest for a student who is preparing for interviews? Any other final tips that you can give?
Yeah, sure. So I have myself gone through this like the whole thing, that interview and the placement session.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite easy to say that, like, keep yourself motivated, inspire yourself, work hard. But yeah, somewhere at some moment you think like your friends have placed, but you are not placed, or like they have grabbed an internship, but you are still you are still unable to get that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a factor every individual faces. I myself do face that. But yeah, I can't tell you not to have this. Like, you need to pass through this, right? At the end, you need to pass through this. I can let you know like what you can prefer to get onto this. So talk to your parents, talk to your friends, like who really cares for you. So in case you think like he has placed, I should not share this fact with other individuals. Like, it may include that jealousy factor, like you are being jealous of someone else. But yeah, you should talk to your parents regarding this as well, that you are having jealousy, like that he is placed, and you are having some insecurities with your like the talent part, or the hard work which you have done. You can give second thoughts to that as well. But yeah, your parents can really help you with this. So talk to them, they can motivate you, they can like provide you the support which is required during this internship or placement session. It can be your parents, it can be your one of your like best friends, you can say as well. So yeah, find someone with whom you can share all these facts, and have someone to talk to, right? So like I usually myself used to talk to my mother regarding this, like the internship and placement session. Like, my
Mm-hmm.
friend has been placed, but I am not yet placed. So yeah, she provides me with the constant support. Probably she can't teach me the coding part, of course she can't, she's a housewife. So but yeah, she can provide me with the support which is required. So yeah, find yourself one who can support you during this hard time, and prefer to talk to them whenever you face any second thoughts with your hard work or with your talent part, right?
And rejection, it's fine. Everybody faces rejection at some point of time. You just have to stay strong and motivate yourself,
Yeah.
and prepare more the next time you enter the interview room.
Yeah, rejections are actually they are preferable. They let you know of the shortcomings you have yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, do ask from HR. Most probably you can't ask like with him directly, but yeah, think yourself like which was the part I lagged in this interview, or in during this my interview round, and prefer to work on that part. Focus work on that part, try to improve it, and when you will sit for the next company, try you didn't make that mistake again. Like, you have made that mistake already in your past, try to avoid this. in your next interviews. So yeah, they are actually like a good ones that let you know of your shortcomings.
And every student is in that position. Nobody is completely prepared. I'm completely prepared, I know I can crack. There is no time when you are completely prepared for an interview. There is something that is missing for everybody, and you don't have to
Yeah.
focus on the missing part. You have to focus on what you know and how you can leverage that in the interview.
So yeah, it's completely like an infinite ladder. So it definitely doesn't have that top. If you think like I can reach that top, it
Mm-hmm.
keeps on going. You just need to try to improvise yourself and just don't allow this rejections to take over your mind and feel that like go into that depression part. Like I am
Mm-hmm.
of no worth.
Yeah.
Never do think like this. Yeah, so it's an infinite ladder. You need to keep on taking steps. You need to improve yourself. Even if someone is selected, he she also needs to improve himself or herself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not
Yeah.
like they have grabbed an internship. So yeah, they have reached the top and they should stop taking up the steps which are required. So yeah, it's an infinite ladder. You need to keep going, keep it going.
Since we are talking about the interview preparation and how we should keep going, I just have one thing. So whenever anyone prepares for competitive programming, students, prefer to do a topic completely and then move on to the next topic. So what are your views on this? How should one proceed? Should one like complete entire stacks topic and then move on to trees, or they should just take the questions parallelly, like linearly?
Right,
Hmm.
right. So if you do prefer like finishing one bucket, let's say it's of stack. So
Hmm.
if you prefer I should complete all of the questions from stack. So see, you can do that for one or for two. You
Hmm.
can complete it for stack, for linked list. But yeah, rest of your topics will be a little deprived on the deprived end. So it if you prefer this, you are in a situation where you are overwhelmed with the with the knowledge in two of these fields, and rest of them are quite like deprived. So you should
Correct.
not prefer this. Open multiple buckets at a time. Prefer to
Hmm.
do questions for stack, queue, array simultaneously. Like do two questions for stack, do two questions for queue, do two questions for arrays, and simultaneously like keep this going on. This
Hmm.
should go on, right?
Yeah.
So definitely didn't strict yourself to that one bucket. Like I need to complete this stack, and after that I will proceed to another. That's not a good thing. You should prefer running them simultaneously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the best preparation strategy you have mentioned, Vasu. That's the place where most of the students lack and face issues later. That we have just prepared 3 or 4 data structures and we don't know the rest of the data structures at all.
Right. So
Hmm.
that's the excitement which I have faced myself as well. So it's like I started doing stack questions. I was
Hmm.
able to solve that.
Yeah.
So it includes like ek aur kar leta hu. I should do one more. I should do one
Huh.
more. I should do one more. So yeah, restrict that to like a quantity, let's say two or three, and
Hmm.
after that move yourself to the next field. The second one, which is like queue. Um, on the next day, you can again start with the stack, but yeah, it's so not like that. You should spend complete day on stack and next complete day on queue. So yeah, that's not a good strategy from my end.
Correct. Correct. And how should one manage the college as well as the personal part, that is practicing and learning everything, because students have to
Right.
attend college, have to attend the lectures, have to attend practicals and so on. So how did you
Right.
manage that extra time for yourself for learning more?
So yeah, I myself devoted the time for that college part, the college learning part. It was somewhere around if I have my midterm exam or an end term exam, I used to devote 1 week. I used to start my preparation 1 week earlier with that exam. And
Hmm.
yeah, I guess 1 week is more than sufficient for that preparation. So
Correct.
the rest of time I just used to complete my like submissions, which are like practical files. Just complete them for the name. If you prefer to learn from them, you can as well. Definitely, it's a good approach. But yeah, I guess you should prefer more on the development part, development of yourself, using the outside sources as well. So the college sources yet are not sufficient. For my college, this is the situation. It might be different from your college. So yeah,
Mm.
but according to me, you should focus yourself on your development.
Generally, it's the same for all colleges. College preparations are not sufficient, and you have to do things by yourself and not just depend on the college.
Right. So that's
Mm.
the thing I said. That's same with for my college as well. So yeah,
Mm.
I used to also devote time for that outside part, the coding part or that the development feed part. I used to devote maximum of my time to that only, not the college learning.
Correct, correct. And with all this preparation and stuff, where was the fun part? Like, did you go out with friends or enjoy your life, or do you just spend time
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
preparation?
So it's not like I am preparing for like that JEE mains or that JEE advanced thing where you
Correct.
need to devote like 10 to 12 hours for that study. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not definitely not like that. If you are thinking that it's at that level, definitely it's not that. So yeah, I used to enjoy with my friends as well. We used to go out after our lecture ends. We used to spend 1 hour or 2 hours. We used to play football or like cricket as well. There's one game PUBG as well, so I used to play that as well. So yeah, definitely you. It's not like you should just keep on studying or cramming things. You
Mm.
get time if you manage your time properly. You will get time to like enjoy this phase as well. So yeah, I
Correct.
myself enjoyed this phase very much.
Yeah, yeah. That's the best approach. You have to enjoy life.
Yeah.
You have to work hard as well, to
Hmm.
get the dream job that you want. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, Vasu, and congratulations once again for getting your dream job. It's really a great achievement to get into Atlassian as a fresher.
Thank you, Nisha. Thank you so much for this, for having me on your channel. So
And
yeah, I think some of students might find this helpful. Yeah.
yeah, 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 surely. And thank you for sharing so much knowledge with us.